Businesses are now required to file non-employee compensations on Form 1099 NEC. They are no longer reporting those payments on 1099 miscellaneous. And this is the new 1099 miscellaneous. As you can see, box 7 no longer has the non-employee compensation. Businesses will now report that on 1099 NEC, and this is the new form, again starting with tax year 2020, and they will report those amounts in box 1 of this form. So who must file a 1099 miscellaneous? If you paid more than $10 in royalties or at least $600 in rents, prizes, awards, other income, medical and healthcare payments, payments to attorneys, and we'll speak more about the attorneys. Those types of payments are still reported on 1099 miscellaneous. Again, this is only for payments made in the course in the trade of business, right? So if these are not including personal payments. This is just through the course of a trade or a business. So now the new 1099 NEC, you would file this on behalf of businesses that you paid at least $600 for services performed by someone who is not your employee. So non-employee compensation, and any cash payments for fish, which is kind of weird, but okay. For fish you purchase from anyone engaged in that trade or business, or payments to an attorney, and we'll talk about that again. For each person for whom you withheld any federal income taxes, you would need to report that on a 1099 NEC as well, regardless of if you paid them the $600 threshold amount or not. So if you withheld any money, then you would need to file that on a 1099 NEC. Okay, moving on to the next. There are exceptions to what types of entities you would file these 1099s for. For corporations, you would not issue them a Form 1099. So that includes S corporations, C corporations, nonprofits, any incorporated businesses. For your Schedule C filers, like your individuals, your sole props, your DBAs, you will need to issue them a Form 1099. So payments that are paid to a corporation, let's see, even though they are a corporation, they still may need a 1099, and that includes businesses like medical and healthcare payments, gross proceeds paid to an attorney, and substitute payments in lieu of dividends or tax exempt interest. The following payments made to corporations generally must be filed on the 1099 NEC, and those, again, like I said, the fish purchases, attorney fees, and payments by a federal executive agency for services. So let's talk about payments that are paid to attorneys. If it is gross proceeds, so let's say it's from a lawsuit, an installment agreement, or you're paying the attorney the fee on behalf of their client, then you are to issue that attorney the 1099 miscellaneous in box 10. If you are a business and you're paying for legal services, then you're to issue the amount of services in box 1 on the new 1099 NEC. So let's talk about the 1099K. The 1099K are for payments made with a credit card. And normally the credit card processor is the one who would issue that 1099K to the business owner. And the business who paid the other business owner will not need to file that on a 1099 NEC. So the types of payments that are reportable on the new 1099 NEC would be things like cash, checks, ACH, or money sharing apps such as Zelle or Venmo. So again, if you paid by credit card, PayPal for business, Cash App for business, any credit card processor, then that credit card processor will issue that business a 1099-K. So the filing due dates for the 1099 miscellaneous, it's due by February 28th of the following year if you're filing by paper, and March 31st if you're filing electronically. It's still due to the payee by January 31st. The new 1099 NEC is due January 31st, regardless if you file by paper or electronically. The penalty for late filing or late furnishing after that 30-day grace period is $50 per return, up to $565,000. There's also an additional penalty called failure to file a correct information return. And like I said, this could be in addition to the late filing penalty. These are two separate penalties. So you definitely want to make sure you're filing the correct form and that you're filing that form timely.